Are you coming back to school with me? We could have done it all so easily.
Hi, my name is Craig Thompson Wood. I'm your host on Teaching with Board Games. And if you just stumbled across this video and didn't actually look at the title, just some exciting news. Last year I did a weeks-long battle report, in installments on a game which is one of my favorite games for sure. Duel of Ages II. It's just such a great game. It's so much fun. It kind of reminds me of Hunger Games in the way that all these people are just sort of popping up into these domes, but they're from different time periods, and even like Mad Max Thunderdome, where you can have a person who's an excellent sniper, but then the only thing he can find is maybe like a medieval mace and some lawn darts. It's just crazy stuff that goes on. It's an absolutely thrill ride of a game. I love it every time I played it. So looking forward to playing this one again. I'm going to be starting it right now. What I did actually before in just preparation for this is I went back over all the videos and I looked at the mistakes that I'd made, and to make sure that I'm learning from those mistakes and not going to be repeating them, hopefully this time. But what I think I really did appreciate in that first round that I did, that first game session, is that throughout the different viewers were commenting and giving me some pointers to say, hey, you did this wrong here, you made a rules mistake here, and so on. So it was just good to just help keep me on track, because there's a lot of rules and things, and especially when you're trying to be filming as well as remembering all the rules and moving everything and playing both sides of the game by yourself at the same, it's a lot, and so I make some mistakes, and so it's just nice where people can correct me and put me back on track, so that way that I don't spoil everything by completely ruining the game because I made such a grievous error. All right, so I'm going to get it right to the table and get this thing started. So today's episode, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the teams, I'm going to pick the maps, and I'm going to get everything set up, and then in the near future we'll get the game properly underway. I'm going on holiday in a couple of weeks, so whereas before I think I was doing one video a week of this, I will do at least one video a week, but maybe some more, 2 or even 3 in a week if time permits. That way I can get it done sooner. But again, I also maybe 2 in a week is the max I would do, because I do want to give time for viewers to make any comments about things that I am messing up with the rules. So anyway, to the table. For this game, I'm going to employ the same team selection methods that I normally play with. I'm a big fan of drafting as opposed to, like just getting the, here's your 12, here's my 12, and I'll just pick the 8 out of my 12 that I like. I like looking at a set on the before you, and then both players have to make those choices as to which ones they want. So each team is starting with their own 4 characters to begin with. Now, that's not to say that they have to stay with those. If there's one that they really don't like, they can always choose to, instead of just drafting one and adding to theirs, they can also remove one from, like, trade one for the bottoms. That way, so maybe, for example, say Damon Raven don't want Damon Raven. Damon Raven could be swapped out. Then this player could end up taking Damon Raven for their turn, for their team. So let's just take a quick look at them. There are like so many characters in this game. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So I don't know most of these. I mean, actually, yeah, I guess I'm kind of familiar with the Headless Horseman, but let's just take a look here. So Leo Penny, the Gambler. So after looking at newly drawn cards, 1 through an adventure, Leo can risk one of the cards, check luck. 0-3 card is lost, 4-5 discard the card, the same type. Okay, so he can, actually looks like Tom Vassal. Oh my god, that's creepy. So he's good at melee, good at slapping people with that hand. So that's a, it's not a throwing, that's shooting. Is that shooting? I have to remind myself of all these things. So that hand actually means, what can Tom Vassal do well? Tom Vassal can point. So he points at people with an accusatory finger. So point is Hand-to-eye coordination and fluid, accurate upper body movements. Point is critical with weapons that are not carefully aimed, such as pistols and automatic weapons. Okay, so he's good. Yeah, so that makes sense. He looks like a, you know, got some expertise with pistols down there. All right, so decent. Then we have the Headless Horseman. Very quick moving. Good health and things. So throwing, yeah, and then some good power there on the damage. Spook, mental ability. Enemies that begin with free action within 2 aura spaces gain +1 speed, but cannot adventure or attack during their turn. Enemies that begin in a building or ally with ignore the spook. The head, natural range attack used throwing. Oh, so he throws his head all the time. That's cool. That's really cool. And there's the range attack for the head there. Okay. Interesting, interesting. I like it. And then we have Adigan the Rat, the Bold Midgeling. Very good with a lot of different weapons there, as you can see on the bottom. Wow, look at the stats. Stats are incredible. But, oh, 3 health. Vulnerable. But those stats, my goodness. Master Splinter. Alright, so we have Tom Vassal, Splinter, and the Headless Horseman. And then we have the T-1000. So, Damon Raven, he'll be back. Gains +5 hit with energy pistol, auto pistol, energy rifle, auto rifle. Wow. Just gotta find one first, I suppose. So we have 2 people who are really gonna want pistols here. So that's well, just maybe get lucky. We shall see. And on the other team then. Oh, who's he remind me of? I'm thinking like Logan's Run, but it's somebody else, that face. Anyway, so it gains +1 hit against beings and fiends, ignores any mental abilities he wishes, which I guess would be that spook thing too. That sounds pretty mental, but I'd have to double check that. So very fast initiative, very good intelligence, and sort of average and everything else. He's a futuristic modern investigator. Sorry, that's not purple's futuristic. I'm thinking too much of Logan's Run. So Dragon Queen, she looks like a shapeshifter because she's got the stats on the one side, stats on the other side. So normally casinos in her human form use the left ratings. Free action, discard 1 card to become the dragon until the beginning of her next turn. While dragon, use the right ratings, can fly, cannot use cards, breath attack using point rating. Wowzers. Yeah, okay. That's a good one. And then Cartoon Boy, Piccolo, the Arts Master. Whoops. Can be attacked by only 1 enemy in a melee. Piccolo chooses the enemy. This enemy can even be one that cannot attack Piccolo. Cannot use weapon cards. Must always choose to imprison. Oh man, but he is. Look at those stats. Wow. Yeah, wow. There's some crazy stats on some of these characters. And then we have Risic the Red, the Wizard. Flame Burst, range attack using. They have built-in weapons too. I mean, that's really interesting that 2 of the characters, 1 on each side, have built-in range attacks. Plus, she's got the built-in breath attack. You know, normally sometimes characters run around with like nothing. They're throwing like, you know, just whatever they can get their hands on. You know, but they can use it at all. But they have some built-in attacks. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's see who we have for things. So we have number 1. We have Mr. Catskill, the Vigilante, the Equalizer. Count the allied characters, not henchmen, killed by the enemy. Gains +1 to hit. Okay, so yeah, he is an equalizer. The more you kill of his team, the more he's going to want to pay you back. All right, so we'll put 1 there. We're going to have 8 along the bottom here for choices. Then we have Orpitu, the cave monster. Range attack using aim as shown. Another range attack. Suffers -3 to hit if not in a cavern space. So in caverns, oh, he's a cave monster. Yeah, in caverns, he's absolutely terrifying. Interesting. Now, these 2 are like under here, but doesn't mean that they're actually part of this team. So I'll just move these up. Just like I said, I'm putting them along the bottom here. The Thak, TIAX Assassin, the Killing Machine. Okay, so this one is a focused on killing one target and one target only. That's kind of interesting. Melina Arabato, freedom fighter. Can ignore any mental ability she wishes. Proud, cannot receive cards and trade from allies, but can give away cards. Jenny McGiddy, the crafty peasant. If an enemy fops a melee attack against Jenny, he hits himself. He must make a damage challenge against his own armor rating. Mental ability, one melee hits attempt. Jenny adds wits to her react, and the attacker adds wits to his melee. Once per game, any challenge can use wits rating instead of the normal rating. Now, so mental ability. A lot of these characters on this team can ignore mental abilities. Okay, so that's 5. We'll do as well. These up like this for now. Just make it part of that team. And 6, we have Frost Dancer, the graceful warrior. Only one enemy can attack Frost Dancer in a melee phase. The enemy chooses the attacker. Sounds a lot like Piccolo here. And wow, yeah, very similar stats to Piccolo too. Piccolo's very low in the initiative, but the attack is high, and she's also got the high reflexes and stealth. Brad, the slacker. Ha! On all challenges, ignore rating. Simply check luck. Oh man, that's pretty funny. I might just have to take Brad just for the laughs. And one more. William Wallace. So we've got a couple of futuristic ones. So William Wallace, the inspiring leader, mental ability hit allies with 2 aura, gain +1 to hit with all attacks, does not apply to Wallace himself. So Wallace with the cave monster to help offset his -3 to hit could be very helpful. All right, so let me lacking a thing right now, so I'm going to flip this card. So that's heads and tails. So heads and tails to see who's going to get to choose first. Well, that doesn't work very well at all, does it? There we go. That's better. So heads, tails. So it's heads. So heads and tails, I believe I said. If I didn't, well, call me a cheater. Okay, so they have, and one thing I like to look at is the distribution of the different ages. So they don't have any of the from the modern age. They've got the other ages represented, but not modern. So I'm looking at Catskill. Catskill the Vigilante or Melina Arabato. Excuse me, ignore mental abilities. And trading is good. I think overall, Mr. Catskill is going to come and join this team. So there's going to be 8 on each team at the end. So right now we're up to 5 on this team. Let me pull back a bit here. Triangle. There we go. So we're up to 5. So now it's this team's pick. And they are lacking anything futuristic. Yeah, you know what? This assassin sounds really cool. I want to take that assassin there. Okay. So we got. Oh yeah, I guess they could have taken Brad the slacker. They want their. Yeah, you know what? I think we're going to take William Wallace here. And I think I think happy with everything there. I think though that Frost Dancer and Piccolo would make like a really deadly combo for a lot of melee fighting and stuff like that. Plus, they're 2 different ages, so that's good. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try that thing like I mentioned. So William Wallace teaming up with Orpathu, and so that's 4, 3, 7 to 6. So we'll go with Jenny McCready. There, there. So those are the teams. So in this team we have Orpathu. Now we're just going to call them Team White. So this is Team White. I know you're supposed to look at respect and blah blah blah, but we're just going Team White. So we have Orpathu and his buddy William Wallace. We have Melina Arabato, the freedom fighter. Mr. Catskill, the vigilante. Adigan, the rat, the bold midgeling. Damon Raven, the assassin. Headless Horseman, the rural legend. And Leo Penny, aka Tom Vassell, the gambler. And on the other team, we have Jenny McGiddy, the crafty peasant. The TIX assassin, the killing machines. We may find that this assassin ends up becoming the hunted. Piccolo, the arts master. Ryan Knight, the investigator. Brad, the slacker. Sorry, the video cut out as I was in mid thing there. So yeah, so we have Frost Dancer, Rizek the Red, the Wizard, and Casina the Dragon Queen. So that is the 2 teams. As I said, we'll do this one as Team White, Team Black, and I will get the board set up. Now, one thing I'm going to be doing, like when I played before, I've always played on triad missions, which are your battle missions, and you have the different things for. It's I don't know. To me, I want to say standard because that's the only one I've ever played. So as I was reading it through, and I was just looking at Mission 1 Rush, and I wasn't. Took me a little while of reading to realize I've never done this mission before. So that's what I'm going to do now. So in setting up for a rush mission, you're always going to be setting up in the hexes in a configuration like so. And so Team Black, Team White starting place here, Team Black starting thing here. And so these are random platters chosen by their team. I'm going to do a lot of this just randomly, just because it's just me playing. So I'm not going to try and be too strategic for one side or the other. And I don't think any team has any sort of movement abilities which would benefit them more than the other. So it's not like, if I had like Treebeard who moved through those forests, and sure, yeah, maybe I put that thing with the forest, make it hard for the other team to move through, but he'd go flying through like nothing. And the yeah, so in these dome keys here, I'll make a nice assortment of colors to make sure that there's nothing like an over concentration in one area of one color, but just a nice distribution of color all throughout. So the thing here is the scoring for a rush mission is very similar to other missions. Sure, it's going to be 12 rounds. And at the end of the game, the one with the most achievements wins. 5 achievements can be won. You have encounter achievements, the one with the most encounters, right, as normal. Lith achievements, as normal. Base achievements, as normal. Combat achievements, and then escape achievements as well. So escape achievements, when you're escaping, it's going to mean that your character can't be killed. So they're treated as alive, even though they're off the map. And so that's guaranteed points for your team. Just have to keep in mind, though, that the sooner you run off the map, the less you're helping your team for the rest of the battle. So it's tricky to get off the map. So this is Team White spot. So if Team Black makes it all the way across the map into one of those 5 hexes surrounding that open space there, then they can choose to remove themselves from the map. They just gone. But the first character who does that of either side was going to get 4 points for their team. The second one 3, 2, and then the fourth 1. So if you're going to do it, you want to do it early. You want to be. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Like if maybe sort of stalling and waiting and saying, okay, I can hang out here for a bit and bide my time. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be crazy. So 8 characters in the thing, and yeah, so the tells you how to build the map and everything like that, and you're going to do similar types of things. So you're having one common, one secret in the vaults, and no reinforced face. That's the other cool thing. So looking at Team Black's starting point down here. So this is where Team Black starts. Like I said, the 5 hexes surrounding that spot. You look at the characters' respect, and all the characters are starting on the map at the beginning of the game. There's none of this bringing them in, bringing some characters turn 1, some characters turn 2, some characters turn 3. No, they all start on the map right from the very beginning, which I thought was interesting. And so the 5 hexes around it, if you are a 0 respect, you have to start touching that space. If you're 1 respect, you can start 1 space away, 2 respect, 2 spaces away, and so on. So the higher your respect, the further you can start. But then again, if you're 10 respect and you're out there all on your own, that could also be dangerous. So lots of interesting things. I'm really excited to try this one. So let me just get the board set up and I will show you how it looks. So here's my progress thus far on the map. So we've got St. Lo's down here, the Writhing Forests, the Seep, and Tombstone. So this is the white base up here. So these 5 spaces around here are the white base. Down here at St. Lo, these are the 5 spaces for the black base. You got the white base, or the white entry point, whatever you want to call it. The white, yeah, we'll call it the base. But I mean, this is their bases here: white base, black base. You have list layer. Now, what I sort of realized was interesting here is that there is no labyrinths. And again, so this is going to be a first for me. I've never played a game without labyrinths, so I thought, well, what are you going to do without the labyrinths? Well, that's these encounter tokens. So I'm going to start putting these encounter tokens out right now. So let me just get those set up and I'll get going. So for the encounters then, reading the rules, they cannot be placed onto the dome spaces, but other than that, you're going to place down as many as you possibly can and just put them, as you put one down, then the next one has to be placed at least 4 spaces away from any other encounters that are on the map. So yeah, I'm just going to start doing that and let's see where that takes us. All right, so there we have it. I put them down. If there's spaces there, I'm not going to go too deeply into that. That seems like a lot of encounters. So this is going to be interesting because, as I said, I've never played this one before. So I'm kind of curious how it's going to work out and play out. So I'll have to refresh my, or even read the rules on the encounters. And I know, like, on them they have these things, so they're very much like the labyrinth encounters. So you have there, Olympians. So I think it gives you the required number you need to hit, what skill you're testing, and your reward then would be 2 commons if you beat it. So yeah, interesting. Let's it lacks the flavor text of the labyrinths, but here's what it is. Like I said, try something new. Okay, let's get the characters all set up and on the board. One thing I need to do as well is get all the characters with their starting gear. So Leo Penny, aka Tom Vassal, 1 common, 2 secrets. So he's getting, first common, he's getting a compression rifle, and he is good with rifles and things, but that doesn't match. So he's not getting a bonus with that one. And the requirements are 4 and 4. He's strong enough and smart enough to use it, so he's good for that. He also has a Guardian of the Gate, which he's strong enough and things. So to set up Sentinel, must use all move points in setup phase. So it's a Sentinel. So that's cool. And then a Fencing Mask. So it gives him some bonus armor against melee attacks. Cool. Nothing. And then 1 common and 1 secret. So it's a Mind Piercer grenade, 3/4, which he's got, so we can use that. He doesn't have any bonuses with those with grenades, unfortunately. He'd be better with that compression rifle, though. That compression rifle is right up his alley. It's a futuristic weapon, and he's got the right things for it. So maybe Vassal's gonna have to pass that off. So the Silver Dove, free action, heals health equal to honor -2. Well, he's got a terrible honor, so that's going to be, yeah, maybe I'll trade it to Tom. Well, Tom doesn't have a great one either. Alright, so, yeah, healing. Nothing. 1 common for Mr. Catskill. He gets a pepper box. Pepper box. Nope. Not the right. Oh, yes, yes, it is. So this is exactly the kind that Leo Penny here can use. So again, maybe some trades in the works. And she's good with motorcycles, but there's no cars there. Okay, so that's it for that team. I'll pick the vault in a second. Now looking at this side, we have Rizit the Red with 2 secrets. So I'll grab those for him. 2 secrets. So he's got Muffin, a very vicious dog. Because Muffin seems like such a nice pooch, only the target enemy can attack him. Muffin, a well-groomed foo-foo, but he's not above gnawing on unprotected appendages. Alright. So, Rizit the Red comes with his own pooch. And a rail hammer. John Henry style. Yeah, he's not going to be strong enough to use that with a 7 strength. I can guarantee you that one. He's a wizard, for Pete's sakes. Yeah, he's 4. So, TIX Assassin can use. Actually, she can use it in dragon form. But yeah. All right. Well, you know, it's good to have cards sometimes to sacrifice for other purposes too. Next up, we have Ryan Knight getting a secret. He's got an Alliance Cube, free action, place the user in any space containing an allied character. That could be useful. And then Jenny McGiddy also gets a secret. I'll take this one. She gets a Stinger Sentry. So 1/5, she's got the capabilities to use it. And I got all the tokens. I just couldn't find the token for this one. You'd think I could find it easily with that kind of text back there, but maybe it's in there somewhere in another baggie and I just didn't see it. But for now, I'm just using this one. It's a robot just to represent the TIAX Assassin. And yeah, so let's get on to the vault. So Team White gets 1 common and 1 secret for the vault. So they get, their common is a pike. And their secret is megalomania and meekness. So Lith shall test you. Take this test to Lith's chamber, challenges in the adventure phase, and you see what happens. Cool. So I'll put the white ones under here, and 1 common, 1 secret for the black team. So their common is a recharge cube. Play immediately after an owner is about to lose a K weapon. After a kill, this weapon is not lost. And then an assault shotgun, which just happens to be a nice K weapon. And what is this investigator good with? Pistols. Pistols, not shotguns. Cool. So those are here for the black team. Alright, so now it is time for the black team to set up their whole team. Then the white team sets up their whole team, and that will conclude today's adventuring.
So early in the game and already making mistakes. One, I haven't picked the target for the TIAX, but that's not a big deal. I can do that like before really the game starts, because the TIAX is starting here. I mean, it's not like I can get any unfair advantage that way because the respective 0. But I was supposed to put the characters down before I put the gold encounters token down, but all that means now is when I'm putting the characters down, I'm just making sure I'm not starting a character in a space with an encounter. That's something you can't do. So you would have put the characters down, and then you would have put the tokens down, making sure that the tokens don't end up in spaces where the characters are. Right? So that's that. So that's the black team. So here we have Cassina here with the wizard guy, Rizik, and then Frost Dancer, Piccolo, Ryan Knight, Jenny McGiddy, the TIX Assassin, and Brad the Slacker, just hanging out here. I think Brad, with his on all challenges, just using luck rating, is just probably going to wander around and try his hand at some adventuring. Who knows, Brad may save us all. Let's set up Team White. And here we have Team White's deployment. Team White, we got Master Splinter, aka Attican the Rat, moving forward with a plan to go into the base, maybe take some things from there. Molina Arabato is going to be accompanying him. And then we have a little sort of cluster down here. We have the Headless Horseman right up against the thing because he has to. And then Damon Raven's not much better with respect of 1. So, as is Orpithu is a respect of 1. So, I want to do a trade amongst these 3, where Catskill's going to trade to Vassal, Vassal's going to trade to Damon Raven. And so we're going to do a little bit of swapping going around here. So I need to those 3 to be staying close together. And although William Wallace could have set it further afield, like I said, I think it's a good idea to keep Wallace and this cave monster together, because Wallace can help to offset the cave monster's difficulties not being in a cave, which is going to make him that much more effective. That's a very strong monster. It's just that -3 really hurts. So if I can keep thinking, and on that note, I think that that's who TIAX is going to be after, is William Wallace. So William Wallace is the target for the TIAX, and yeah. So that inspiring leader, I saw that and I think, yeah, you know what? Forget about assassin versus assassin. We're going to go leader, so maybe this assassin's trying to get the TIAX out. Okay, so that's going to be it for the setups and everything. All the characters are set, all the cards are set, the board is set. Let's pan out here, take another look at this glorious board. This is what we're going to be doing. Look at all those encounters. It's going to be absolute mayhem. So we have the black team over here, the white team over here. You can rush across and escape from the other team's thing to earn some bonus points. Otherwise, it's your standard duff them up, get your points through base destruction, through encountering, through things to lift, and through capturing enemies, killing enemies, and escaping. So that's going to be it. So tune in soon for the first actual turn of Duel of Ages II Rush.
Are you coming back to school with me?